Good evening, this is Atmospheric Alex here with yet another weather forecast and discussion video today for our risk for severe weather later next week, or I should say towards Tuesday to Wednesday. We have potential for a significant tornado event across portions of Dixie Alley here. This is uptrended extraordinarily significantly over the past couple of days. I mean, the last time I saw you, we were talking about maybe a low-end event, but my goodness, has that changed? I'll get all the details out in this video. Alright, now first things first, we need to look at the Storm Prediction Center's convective outlook. This is from WeatherWise, just like always, and this is going to be our Day 6 outlook for Tuesday, and there is an awful lot going on here. We have a 30% chance for severe weather. This is very far out, and it has already been issued. There's a lot of confidence here and quite an intense event to take place. You can also see our 15% risk area, our slight risk, our enhanced risk here, if you will. It could be a very significant day coming up here. And you can just see all these towns and cities on this map. If, please feel free to find where you live on here if you're in this area so you know what to expect. And we're also going to take a look at the discussion here because this is quite concerning if you do ask me. Let's see here. All right, confidence in the upper level pattern is increasing as European and European ensembles have been consistent with an amplified mid-level pattern across the central and southern plains now for several consecutive runs. In addition, the GFS, the GEFS ensembles have trended towards the more amplified European solution. As the confidence in the overall pattern increases, the confidence for a significant severe weather threat is also increased, and a 30% chance severe weather probabilities have been added from East Texas to Central Mississippi. While specifics will remain uncertain until the event draws closer, the potential for multiple rounds of severe convection, including supercells, clusters, and likely an eventual squall line, bring the threat for all severe weather hazards, including strong tornadoes. This wording is rarely used this far out, and I need to stress this point. So we're going to take a look at the details here as we go through the rest of the video. Now, as you haven't figured out already, this will be a severe weather-centric video, so all other weather across the country, we won't worry about that as of now. We will be taking a look at your temperatures, though. I'll tell you what, it has been quite warm across some areas. It finally feels like winter is breaking off. We're getting into spring, and you can see a bit of a warm-up there for the Central Plains, but our main severe weather outbreak here is going to be on Tuesday. And you can see, look at this here, temperatures in between the 70s and even some 80s down here across the deep south and deep southeast. Going into your southern and central plains into your 80s, even cracking a couple 90s down here in southern Texas, even 100. Wow, it's going to feel like summertime down there already. I mean, you could really just see your wide open warm sector. You got your low pressure here. You got your cold front draped back through here, and then just this big old open warm sector through here where Gulf moisture can move up into at a fairly rapid pace. So definitely going to need to keep an eye on that. And we'll just continue looking here. Temperatures do sustain pretty well throughout the night. And now we're going to be moving into more of our severe weather-centric graphics. Here are your winds at your 500 millibar level, so we can see our trough ejection here. Look at this beautifully carved trough coming off here. And my goodness, as we head into peak heating here, this is roughly when it'd be peak severe weather risk. Just this classic bowling ball trough here. Look at this structure. My goodness, you can really see it here. Your area of lower pressure and here aloft, and this screaming jet streak of energy just to the south of it. This very, very large right exit region all through here. This is quite the significant situation here. And another thing I'd like to note is your diffluence aloft. Look at your wind barbs here coming out of the southwest, switching to the south-southwest. And then further down here, coming from the southwest, switching to the west. So you got this large open mouth through here. if you will, where air is going to be essentially stretched out, strung apart. And what the atmosphere likes to do in situations like this is it likes to maintain equilibrium. And you're probably wondering, Alex, what on the world does that mean? Well, what it basically means is the atmosphere likes to stay kind of put together a lot. So when you have this stretchiness, it has to fill itself back in with more air. It has to rush air back into the areas where it is losing it. And what that is going to result in is potentially a lot of convection, a lot of storms that could fire here in this particular area. Kind of confusing, I know. I'm trying to explain it the best I can, but this could lead to a lot of supercellular development ahead of our main line of storms. Gotta really watch this, and the conditions ahead of this could be extremely volatile. We're going to continue looking on through a time here. This is just such a powerful jet streak. I cannot stop emphasizing that point, and this will continue moving off to the east. Yeah, it's a similar strength. I will note a lot less difluence going on Wednesday here, so your tornado threat will likely be a little more limited here, as there isn't as much air that needs to be filled in, so not as much convection is going to form off of this. And again, very confusing. We're going to move on to something a bit more basic. Here is your 3-hour precipitation here from your GFS model. Get a better idea of the system. And you can see it, your classic comma head type structure here. Take a look at that moving down there. You got your line of severe weather extending out on your southward extent here, and just a bunch of heavy rain out on your northern end up here. So very important to note here. And down here, it'll have all the ingredients in the world to tap into. Look at that line of storms racing across here. And, onto this, we need to look at our dew points as well. How much moisture is going to be pulled out of the Gulf here? As you can see through time here, yeah, look, very favorable moisture transport here out of the Gulf. Talk about mid to upper 60s dew points. Again, this is probably underdone on this model. That's why I'm emphasizing that. Your wide open warm sector, even getting up into southern Illinois, it wouldn't shock me, and stretching all the way out here. So a lot of opportunities for these supercells to form in this environment. We really got to keep our eyes on this. Now, for your actual storm energy, your convective available potential energy here, you can see a decent bit of it here. This is definitely going to uptrend, but we're seeing between 500 and 1500 joules per kilogram. Definitely wouldn't be shocked to see over 2000 in some areas. This is well suitable for severe weather as it stands, though. And throughout the night, you can see this little tongue, this little lick of energy moving across, supporting a nocturnal strong tornado risk throughout basically the entirety of Dixie Alley here. Quite a frightful night ahead if this verifies. And on top of this, your supercell composite values, basically everything mashed together into one. Easier way to take a look at our parameter space here. Yeah, you could see some of your oranges and reds through here. Very volatile parameter space on a low resolution model. So when our high resolution models come in, we'll likely start seeing your hot pinks and pink colors filling on through. It'll look a lot more significant. And through your overnight round, you can see, again, that lick of energy moving on across Dixie Alley. Now, for your lapse rates, it's basically a way to measure how long a supercell takes to sustain tornadic characteristics, a timing type characteristic here. And you could definitely see here, out in front of here, we have a very nice and favorable environment here in the open warm sector for supercell development. We're talking about mid-level lapse rates between 6.5 and 7. Yeah, this is definitely favorable in Dixie Alley here, and a little exceptional if you were to ask me. So, for sure, when supercells form, they will quickly be able to organize and drop significant tornadoes across a very large area here. Really, again, we have to watch these individual parameters and see if they trend upwards or trend downwards. It is very crucial to this event. And now for your storm relative helicity, all you need to know here is anything in the above the yellows is favorable for sustained tornadoes, like how much spin you have in your atmosphere. And you can see a very large, I can't stop saying it, a large area of that across here. And in your red colors, and especially whites and grays, and the potential for strong to perhaps even intense tornadoes in this environment here, especially with your semi-discrete to fully discrete supercells that form. And again, overnight, big old white area through here. This is a very concerning, very high levels of helicity that are going to be tracking on through and causing a loader ruckus and rattle the entirety of Dixie Alley throughout Tuesday night and a Wednesday morning. All right, now moving on through with your winds aloft, I kind of wanted to show this here. Just kind of focus your attention along this area here. You can see your winds at the surface coming out of the southeast to south-southeast. A big old green light for severe weather. We have not seen this in our past couple severe weather events. This is very important for tornado longevity, how long tornadoes can sustain and how much of a favorable environment they could be in. So kind of focus your attention where my mouse pointer is here, and you can see as we go up a little higher in the atmosphere here, winds start to switch out of the south, then going into your low levels out of the south-southwest to southwest, then out of your southwest getting towards your mid-levels, then out of your west-southwest further into your mid-levels, and all the way in your upper levels due west. We have a ton of veering with height. We're basically going like this, if you will. Look at that. Definitely going to be supportive of strong, potentially even intense tornadoes. Look at that, veering, absolutely incredible across those areas. Just a lot of tilting with height to get that tornadic rotation down to the surface and cause a lot of issues. Now, how about your GEFS model, your ensembles? So the Storm Prediction Center themselves were talking about this, and we're going to take a look at it here. Man, oh man, that is a classic negatively tilted trough ejection there. That is crazy to be seeing on the ensemble mean. You could just see this classic signature here. Just look at your jet streak punching through here. This is going to be quite the day if we continue seeing a signal anywhere remotely similar to this. And as we go through the evening, starts to collapse a little bit, but not really noticeable. It's already too late. You're going to see quite a heightened level of tornadic activity if this verifies. Just imagining all of your discrete supercells that could form out in front of this in that environment. Yeah. This could be the real deal, folks. We just gotta continue watching the models, monitoring the trends. We could see an upgrade to a moderate risk for severe weather. Keep your eyes on a swivel with this severe weather event. And now a couple last things here. Here's your mean supercell composite values here. Not really going too aggressive, but overall, see some of your yellow colors indicating a stronger signal. I do expect this to quickly increase over the next few days if this event continues to uptrend. If not, then that'd be great, wouldn't it? But you could see this tongue of energy goes all the way up into Missouri, so this could trend a lot further north than forecasted. We'll have to wait and see. As we go through time overnight, this yellow area expands, and then you could see going into Wednesday, potentially some more severe weather on the way. Then for our maximum supercell composite values here, on your GEFS model, well, you could see it here, quite a large area of oranges and reds here. Not really too excited though. You know, it is definitely noting that, hey, there might be a few limiting factors to prevent this from becoming that super ultra omega super historic supernova outbreak that some weather hypecasters want this to be, and it won't, okay? It just won't be like that, but still, significant tornado event / potentially outbreak could be expected going into Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. And you can even see it on this graph here. Look at this sudden bump up as we go into March 4th and even into March 5th a little bit here. This right here indicates that severe weather will be above average, okay, for Dixie Alley. So that is a notable event there on your daily sum chart. Okay, and with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning into today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I know I was a bit loud in this video, but we have not seen a trough ejection like this in quite some time, and we just need this thing to downtrend, because this could end up being quite a significant scenario if everything pans out correctly here. And if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to smash the like button. Also be sure to subscribe to my little corner of the weather community if you wish. Leave a comment in the section below if you have any suggestions for this video, and share this with friends and family on social media. That being said, thank you all so much for tuning into today's video, and I will be seeing you all very soon once again. This will likely be on the headlines for next week, and I do want to address this a couple more times as we get into our higher resolution models. Have a wonderful night, everyone.